This video is about how you can process your emotions, and we're also going to talk about the difference between dirty suffering and clean suffering, which is basically talking about the strategy of how you can process emotions. So if you're feeling a lot of negative emotions these days, and those emotions also come over and over again up in your mind, and maybe it's guilt, maybe it's anxiety, maybe it's anger, maybe it's a feeling of depression, anything that it is, most likely to a quite big chunk of that is you and yourself, and you are creating your own suffering. And I want to make an example. So there's David and Casey. And David and Casey, they have both been in a relationship, not with each other, but with another girl or boy, whatever, romantic relationship. And they both broke up. And there are two ways how they deal with this breakup. So there's David, who's more engaging in the dirty suffering. He's not really thinking about the romantic relationship a lot. He just says like, oh no, this was just stupid, whatever. He's socializing afterwards directly a lot. He's engaging in dating immediately. He's not really honestly reflecting on the relationship. He also feels a lot of resistance and hate towards the relationship and that girl. He's also still confused and stressed about it, but he doesn't really want to think about it. He's just out there talking with a lot of people, dating a lot of girls already, and actually already hopping into a new affair with a girl. Just so he cannot think about that pain anymore, and just puts some positivity on top of that. But then there's also Casey. He's more engaging in the clean suffering. Casey is very honest with his feelings. He's talking with his friends about that. He even asks friends, hey, like, sorry, I'm like, are you okay? Can I talk with you about this? I would like to put a couple of things in perspective. He's also going he's going for more walks than usual. Just mind wandering, whatever pops up, even thinking about this relationship, thinking about the positive sides, thinking about the negative sides. You can actually really distinguish that and not just say, oh, this was stupid or this was awesome. He can really have a nuanced thinking by saying, hey, I really appreciated this, and this is really awesome about this woman, and this is something I can improve and learn, but also this is something I didn't like, and I felt a lot of pain. And he's feeling into that pain. He's allowing it. He simply allows to feel sad, maybe a bit depressed, melancholic. He's allowing those emotions. He's surrendering to that pain, and he's actually feeling that grief. Now, clean pain is about going through something. Dirty pain is about going around something. And dirty pain, such as David is doing this, always lasts longer and is more painful, because Casey will be over this relationship sooner. Also, on the long run, he will actually feel less pain, and he can heal emotionally and actually engage at the right time in a new relationship. And he's actually capable to fully open his heart again because he healed beforehand properly. Now, when we talk about how to process emotions, here's a key sentence. I actually once talked to a therapist about that, and he gave a great answer. He said, well, emotions, first of all, just want to be there. Except anger. Anger wants to do still something, but for the rest, usually emotions just want to be there. And now you are probably having right now an emotion that you would like to process better. Otherwise, you wouldn't watch this video. And I would actually like to give you a little tasting for how this looks like. And I would like to invite you for an around 5-minute visualization. Take this serious. You know, the content, what I'm talking here is cool, but I think feeling that is much more important. That's how you learn. So take yourself 5 minutes and engage into this visualization. So I invite you to sit comfortably. Now you can close your eyes. I'm not going to look at you. And just for a moment, arrive here in this space. Feel your entire body. Feel your feet, your legs, your butt, how you're probably sitting on a chair, your back, your belly and chest, and also notice how they're rising up and down with the breath. Feel your arms, your shoulder, your neck, and your head. And once again, feel your entire body. You should have now a better awareness of your body. And also once, breathe calmly in and out. And I want you now to pick one emotion that you're not fully healthily processing. And I don't want you to pick an extremely traumatic, overwhelming emotion. Just pick something that you feel like you can actually handle and deal with this, because we're going to deeply now feel into this, and it's just basically a trigger warning. Don't pick something that you don't feel comfortable with. Just pick something you feel like you can handle. And if you have that emotion or that situation that still haunts you and hurts you, I want you, from a scale from 1 to 10, rate how painful that is. 10 would be maximum painful, 1 would be not painful at all. Give it a number. Give it a number. And also, and you can answer those questions right now in your head, answer this question: what is for you the worst about all that? What is the worst about this emotion, this feeling, maybe this rejection you felt, whatever it is? What is the worst about all that? And really try to open yourself up to this process. It can feel painful in between. Often at first it's getting worse, it's feeling more painful, but on the long term it's then getting better. So also feeling this emotion simply means that you are digesting this emotion right now. So what's the worst about all that? And while thinking about that, you maybe start to feel more and more into this sorrow and grief and pain, or whatever it is specifically. And I also want to ask you, how do you feel this physically right now? Do you feel this in your body? Where do you feel it? How does it feel like? Is it like a tickling? Is it like warm, cold, tight, wide? How do you feel this emotion in your body right now? Those feelings just want to be seen, and simply by seeing them and feeling them, often we feel already a little bit more lighter, because we digest. So allow this feeling in your body. Allow this emotion. And also I would like to ask you, what's the meaning of this moment for you? And with moment I mean the situation or what happened there that gave you so much pain. What is the meaning for that for you? What does that mean? Simply observe what kind of thoughts are popping up. And still stay there with this emotion. Okay. Now remember, in the beginning I asked you this question from a scale from 1 to 10, how painful this emotion is. I want you to rate that right now as well. And maybe it's the same number. Maybe it's even a bit worse. That might be also the case. But also maybe it's just a bit better. Maybe it's also a lot better. Just rate that. And when you're done with that, you can then slowly open your eyes again and come back refreshed and alert. Welcome back. Now, the idea of this exercise is that often it feels like we're in this hole of this negative emotion and we're trying to climb out, but it's such a struggle until we notice actually you just don't need to climb. You can actually just allow yourself to just let go and just fall down this hole, and you're noticing there is actually no ground. It's actually just a tube and you're falling out of this tube by just letting go as well. And all the struggle you had before was actually not helpful or so much pain in the ass that you could actually simply surrender to this emotion and process it and engage in this clean pain, basically. Now, there's a difference between acceptance and resignation. You don't want to resign. You don't want to feel helpless and be like, okay, I cannot do anything about this. And basically engage in this thought, I don't like it, but I have to put up with this. I'm just helpless. I'm just surrendering in a negative way. I'm just resigning to this pain. You don't want to engage in that. Then you more fall into a depressed feeling. You want to accept it. And acceptance really means letting it go. And a sign of acceptance is serenity. So when you fully accept the pain as it is and you decide to accept it, and you feel that something is happening, you're digesting, and something is moving forward, and maybe at some point you're also feeling more lighthearted and better, then you know that you're accepting fully. And you have went through the process of clean suffering. Okay, I wrote down a couple of more action steps. Just pick what's helpful. It's not always the same for the same person. It also depends on the type of emotion that you want to let go. But I just share a couple of examples. So first one is what you can do also to go through this clean pain and process your emotions is to understand the pain. Make sense of it. Why do you feel that way? What is the reason of that? Maybe it starts in your childhood. Understand that, reflect on it. Maybe also reflect with a friend on this. This is actually the second action step also. Talk it out loud. Say it out loud for yourself. What emotions do I feel? I feel grief. I feel disappointment. And also talk with friends about this. Talk it out loud. Clean your room. Improve your room. Buy a plant or whatever. Improve the room and the apartment, the house you're living in. It also feels lighthearted. And with that, you're not distracting yourself necessarily. You just engage in lifting up the outer environment, which also cleans your inner environment. And if thoughts come up about this negative feeling, just let it be. Also, maybe you struggle to accept this emotion because it's so painful. And maybe you don't need to accept it in that sense, but maybe you can accept it because you know it is temporary. You know you won't feel that emotion in a couple of months anymore, or maybe not with this strength. Maybe that helps you to accept. Go for a walk and let your mind wander. Take responsibility for your emotion. If you're not taking responsibility, again, you're resigning and you're falling in this depression. Take responsibility and accept this emotion by simply saying, yes, this is what I feel. And it makes sense. And yes, I feel that way. It also often helps. And also exercising helps. But for example, especially when you feel anger, go exercising. Let it out. Okay, just a brain dump of a couple of examples. If you need help, or if you would like to have some help with processing your emotions, I suggest that we're talking. I suggest you simply book a call. There's a link below this video. You can book a free call. We can come up with a custom strategy and talk about how working together would look like, but also how you can let go of this emotion that you're experiencing right now. This first call is still for free, so make use of that. Also share this video, and I'll talk to you soon.